In the hustle of Chicago, where dreams glitter like skyscrapers, but survival is a daily battle, there lived a couple who had nothing except a promise of forever. Michael and Sarah lived in a tiny one-bedroom apartment. Its peeling walls, its wobbly furniture, were silent witnesses to their hardships. Michael, once a mechanic in a small Midwestern town, now drove a taxi for 12 to 14 hours every day. His hands were rough from gripping the wheel, his eyes heavy with exhaustion. Sarah, who once waited tables in a diner, now worked at a small sewing shop. Her fingers pricked raw from needles, her back aching, but she never complained. They had moved to Chicago chasing the American dream. But 5 years later, that dream felt like a mirage. Still, their love remained unshaken. It had sparked back in their hometown. Michael would bring Sarah sunflowers and hum old country songs to make her laugh. Even now, in their rundown apartment, he would play classic rock tunes on the radio to lift her spirits. And she, despite all struggles, baked his favorite cornbread on Sundays. Though the ingredients were hard to find, love made the recipe whole. Then came a winter evening. Snow blanketed the city, and silence filled their little room. Sarah sat at the kitchen table, her hands trembling. An open letter lay before her, a letter from the hospital. Stage 2 breast cancer. Immediate treatment required. The cost of chemotherapy? An impossible mountain. Michael returned home after a 14-hour shift. He saw the letter and froze. His heart sank. But he knelt beside Sarah and took her hands. "Sarah, we'll figure it out. I promised you forever, didn't I?" From that day, Michael pushed himself harder. He took extra shifts, skipped meals, saved every cent. Sarah, despite her weakening body, kept working at the sewing shop. She hid her pain behind a brave smile, but the bills kept piling up, and the landlord's threats grew louder. One night, Michael found Sarah weeping in the dark. She clutched their faded wedding photograph. Her voice broke as she whispered, "I'm dragging you down, Michael. You'd be better off without me." Michael pulled her close. His own voice cracked as he replied, "You're my home, Sarah. Without you, I'm nothing." Tears filled his eyes, but his arms held her tighter. Desperate, Michael sold his grandfather's pocket watch, his only family heirloom, a treasure passed down through generations. It bought them one round of treatment, but it wasn't enough. Sarah's health worsened. Michael's spirit began to fracture. One freezing night, he sat alone on the apartment's fire escape. City lights stretched before him. He buried his face in his hands and prayed for a miracle. The miracle came from unexpected hearts. Their neighbors, working-class families, who had overheard their struggles, stepped forward. Led by Mrs. Rodriguez, a kind-hearted grandmother, they organized a fundraiser. Taxi drivers pooled their earnings. Shopkeepers donated whatever they could. Even strangers touched by the story chipped in. And then, a local doctor offered discounted care. It wasn't a fortune, but it was enough to keep Sarah fighting. Months passed. The treatments were long, painful, exhausting, but slowly progress showed. Sarah's health improved. She was frail, but hopeful. Her smile returned, brighter than ever. And Michael, though drained, though broken, held her hand through every hospital visit, whispering gently, "We're almost there, darling." The promise. One quiet evening, Sarah leaned against Michael's shoulder, her voice soft, fragile, yet filled with love. "You kept your promise, Michael." He kissed her forehead, his voice steady, unshaken. "Always, Sarah, always." In a world where dreams cost everything, love costs nothing, but keeping a promise can mean everything.